Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Music podcast with your host, Adam Roach.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good.
That's good. So I was just waking up here, got my morning voice on.
Yeah, what time is it there?
It's 7:40 a.m.
Uh-oh, that's pretty early. Sorry.
That's all right.
Um,
Yeah, so you're coming here in a few weeks' time?
no, we canceled.
All right, see you later
See you later.
then.
No, I'm teasing. Yeah, we're so excited. It's been 12 plus years since we've been there. We were supposed to come there in 21, but the COVID thing happened everywhere. But yeah, we're super excited, man. I mean, it's almost like our first time. I mean, when that much time goes by,
Yeah.
it's I remember being in Australia. It's a lot of fun. People are great. But it's almost like, yeah, a whole decade has gone by. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it's what was it, 12 years, wasn't it? You said?
yeah, 2012 was the last time we were there. 12 or 13, something like that.
Yep. Yeah,
Like we
wow.
did Soundwave or something. I don't know.
That's right, yes, exactly. Yeah, I remember that now. So that's so June 18th to 24th you're here in Australia. So you're staying in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and Perth. So I'm in Melbourne, so hopefully see you guys on the 21st of June.
All right.
So what are we expecting from this show?
Well, it's the first thing is we haven't been there in so long. So I would imagine, we've had 2012. So Dark Roots of Earth. I think that just came out. Oh wait, maybe it didn't come out yet. So yeah, we had Dark Roots of Earth, Brotherhood of the Snake, Times of Creation, a live record. Now we got our new record that's coming out, but it's not going to be out when we get there, but
Yep.
it's getting turned in right before we leave to go to Australia. But yeah, I mean, we got three new records of great new songs. Of course, some classic stuff. We just did a tour in the States here. We did a night with Testament, an evening with Testament. And what that was is we did the full Practice What You Preach record.
All right.
And along with some acoustic stuff and like all the ballads we've written, which we haven't played ballads in like 20 years. And then, some deep cuts that we haven't done for a long time. And I think it's going to be maybe we're talking about like a shorter version of that because there is other bands playing with us in Australia. But, I don't think we've 100% decided what we're doing, but I feel like it's going to evolve in the first couple shows. We'll have a plan, but it's definitely going to be it's going to be a good show because we know a lot of songs with the new drummer knows everything, so we can just go, let's try this, boom.
Yeah. Now, I know
Yeah.
you mentioned about the new album, so would there be any chance of any of those songs getting into the set?
Man, I don't think so on this run because we're not rehearsing.
Yeah.
I actually start mixing tomorrow until the end of the week with Jens Bogren. We have like our new ballad and about 3 other songs that we started mixing, but we dropped off because the vocals weren't done yet. So
Okay.
we got like a week to finish it, to
Mm.
turn everything in. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, we're about 78% done.
Okay.
So by next Friday, we'll be done. And then we're turning in the record.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah.
Then you have to come back over again.
Then we'll have, maybe this will be a thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Testament actually comes to Australia every other year or something. I don't know.
Yeah, why not? That's it. Well, seeing
Yeah.
something definitely since COVID, we're getting a lot of bands coming over doing that type of thing now. Like, they come over, then they come over again the next year, and it's been really good.
Well, so the good thing is, this tour that we did, the evening with Testament, was kind of a test run. We didn't do New York or LA, San Francisco. We didn't even do our hometown.
Mm.
It got booked, and we were thinking secondary markets, smaller venues than we normally play, just to test it out.
Yep.
But it went really well. I mean, considering there's no support acts, and we've been told for the last 10 years you need a good package, you need a strong package, you need this. But I think if you're going to have an evening with a band, it's got to be something special. And since we've been doing this for, Practice What You Preach is one of our biggest records 35 years ago. And then playing all our ballads, acoustically, and then some deep cuts. It's a good time to go see Testament, I think.
Yeah.
But so what I was going to say for coming back and doing something like that for Australia and the rest of the world, we are remixing Souls of Black next year, or starting this year. We just picked a mixer. And instead of remastering it, we're going to actually remix it.
All right. Okay.
So I'm excited about that, because the mix that I heard for Souls of Black, it blows away the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, today's technology, producers, a lot of things changed. We were kind of rushed on that record, I feel, a little bit. I mean, I think the music came out good. The mix is good. It's not one of my favorites, but it's one of those records where, if you put it onto something else, the frequencies sound kind of weird, but you get used to it, because it's 35 years, 34 years old.
Yeah.
So it's sticking to the sound, but it's being remixed sonically to where it's going to hit.
Okay.
So
would you ever record any of the parts again, or just remaster?
Oh, no. It's all the original recordings.
Okay. Yep.
But with someone brand new, not in a rush, good equipment, and just fresh ears, probably listening to the record when, oh yeah, the guitars are going.
Yeah.
The snares, I don't know. It's just one of those records where to me, it sounded very, I don't want to pick on it too much, but it was one of the records, in my opinion, it's not our best sounding record. So now it proves my point right, getting somebody fresh and, remixing it. It sounds better. It's just from that one song.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like you said, I mean, it's a long time ago, and then the technology now, and the things they've got, even just want to change, like you say, a bit of the snare sound, add a bit more reverb or something, anything. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's some records, I think, for us where there's a certain, maybe we were influenced by something, or it's a certain sound that worked for that time period. You can almost go, oh, that must have been, late 80s or something, because the kick is got a clicky, and then the snare's got reverb on it. It's like click, whoo, click. So yeah, now it's let's just sound, follow Led Zeppelin, because I mean, look at the first Led Zeppelin record. It's very clear. You hear everything. It doesn't sound, other than the music, it doesn't sound in my opinion, it doesn't sound like it's, a bad recording. It sounds very clear and awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it sounds like the 60s, but do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, definitely.
So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But okay, so where I was going with all that, so that is where we can redo this kind of tour again.
Yep.
Playing Souls of Black in its entirety, and then throwing in all the stuff we did on the practice tour, and doing, maybe going to Australia, Japan, and taking it all over the place.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of the basis of its appeal, I think, for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you say it's like an evening with Testament, is that like a Q&A as well, or is it just you guys doing the song?
We have a VIP where they come in and see the sound check, and then we talk to them. For each person, we interact with them and talk, and then take some pictures. Now, the evening with Testament, we're kind of just, every other song we're all of us talk, and we're all telling a story about what we remember about the song, how it was written. I think later in the set we start picking on each other. I didn't say that. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Testing out the memories.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember it like that. Yeah, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the crowd, you can see the crowd looking at us like, totally cracking up. Like these guys are funny.
Yeah. See, I love that stuff. I reckon that'd be really cool here. People really dig that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I had a great time. I mean, other than touring, the bad thing about touring is waiting around. I mean, when you get the good thing about an evening with the band, evening with Testament, is sound check starts, the VIP people come in, we spend an hour with them, and then they leave, and then we got like an hour and a half before we go on, and then it's a 2-hour show,
Yeah.
and then before you know it, it's 10 p.m. and you're done. Whereas when we tour with other bands, there's the other bands get, dressing rooms, blah 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 blah. Everybody's like, oh, we don't do, there's all that going on, merchandise and
Yeah.
sound checks early, then you got to wait for the meet and greet, and then you got to wait to go on like 4 hours later.
That's
I
right.
mean, it's all good, but I mean, this was different for us. It was a lot of fun. It's like we got into the venue, we were the only band there.
Yeah.
Um, no one to compete merch wise, and the fans were able to get what they wanted and not be confused like, what do I do?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I spoke to a few people about this coming out. It really is it's a long day for you guys, especially when you're playing like one day to the next. You do your gig, you get on the plane, you do your sound check, have some dinner, and then back into it again.
Yeah, I mean, we did. I think the longest we did was 3 in a row. I mean, after 3 in a row of that every day, it's a lot. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Just traveling, even sitting around waiting. That's, I don't know, not anxiety, but it's definitely something to where you're just kind of like, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's a lot of fun. I mean, we really enjoy playing live still, so that's cool. And we have a deep cut set, besides the Practice What You Preach record, and we've kind of made up our minds what we want to do for Australia, but I think at the same time we're still on the fence, like, should we do a shorter version
Mm.
of what we just did? So that's kind of where we're leaning.
Yep.
I think a little taste of it maybe, but
Yeah, that's it.
again, there's other bands playing, so we'll have to see.
Yeah. No, I can't wait. So I noticed I was watching your thing on YouTube. Was it the Riff Gods, where you broke down some of
Mm.
your riffs and you got the acoustic out, and so I noticed on that thing actually because I'm a guitarist as well, as you can see.
Oh
um,
yeah.
you
You
can
got the
really,
Bumblebee, nice.
yeah, I got one actually made up from a guy in America, Neil Daly. His name is Daly Designs.
Okay.
Really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, just seeing the acoustic, like you see that you're playing electric, and then you go to your acoustic and you see the indents in your fingers. A lot more of a change, isn't it? Playing the
Well,
acoustic.
so yeah, so I think we talked about doing something for Riff Lords, and they just threw a lot of songs at me, and I was going to do like 4, but we ended up doing a lot more, and we were like, maybe we'll do some acoustic stuff, and so I didn't bring an acoustic, but they brought me that one that I played,
Yeah,
and yeah, the gauge, that strings on there were really heavy,
I was going to
and
say,
I mean,
like,
I look back at that whole thing, I would do it different again. I mean, I think so. Everybody's like it was killer, but
yeah,
if I would redo it again, I would probably do a couple things a little bit different. But
yeah,
overall, it's good. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and and everybody's always killer, and I'm all, it was terrible. But yeah, so the acoustic part was a little challenging because I wasn't sure. I didn't really rehearse. I mean, they're embedded in my brain, but I wasn't like playing for a week, like so. I was just like flawless. I was kind of like, ugh. But no, and then after I was done, I was handing the guitar back to my representative, and he's like, "No, it's yours." And I'm
oh
like,
wow, oh really?
and I was going to bring that on tour,
Yeah.
but then we started doing a dirge, musical death from the New Order, and I forgot I had a solo on that, so I had to get a cutaway, and Gibson loaned me a cutaway,
Mm.
and yeah, I mean the black one sounds really good.
Yep.
It's a
Yeah.
really good guitar now that I got my gauge on there and got it set up.
I was just going to ask that. Yeah, did you change the gauge?
Yeah, I went to 11 to 52s.
Yep.
I think it had 12 to 54s on it or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was
Looks
just,
pretty.
it was, you can't, you're just like, it's like a guitar you got when you're a kid.
Yeah, that's
My dad gave me the hardest guitar to learn on. Trying to play Love Is Like Oxygen, and your hands are just trying to, move to position. It's just they would get lost because the strings were probably like that far off the fretboard.
yeah. The big
Then I
action.
got my first electric, and I'm like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
do you remember some of the first songs you learnt for the guitar?
Well, that was one of them.
Yep.
Um, Obviously, Smoke on the Water. Um, Love Is Like Oxygen, Barracuda.
Oh yeah.
I had that single. I played that like I think my aunt, because she used to babysit me after school, and it's probably like not babysit, but you have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
But she'd be like, turn that shit off, because every day I would go in there and just straight to my cousin's room. She had a little turntable, and I would just play the hell out of that song Barracuda.
Yeah.
It's fun. Oddly enough, that chugging riff I use in like 6 of my songs. It's
Yeah.
just stuck in my head.
Yeah.
A
I
lot,
mean,
a lot of people, a lot of people use that riff. I think make
exactly.
it their own.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, that's a great riff for back, especially back then.
Yeah,
You go
man.
into your metal and that, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably like Riff Raff. A lot of AC/DC songs. Those are easy to pick up on.
Yep.
Um, but what you don't know, you think, oh, this is really easy, but it's almost harder to write easy riffs
Hmm.
because they're so easy. It's easy to sound like shit, you know,
Yeah.
with the riff,
Yep.
because it's so easy. But if you get the 3 chords right, it it can be super powerful.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching I think it was at Wacken you did
Mm.
last year. Yeah. And just the crowd going crazy. As soon as you start your riff, 10,000
Yeah.
people. It's amazing what that riff can do to people.
Was that Into the Pit?
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was funny because there's that big pit,
Yep.
and it goes, but it went like way down there, and it wasn't even a pit anymore. It was like everybody was just chasing each other.
Oh, really?
Like no one could hit each other because they're just all running, like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are they doing? They're like running laps.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I know that the ticket sales are doing really good.
Oh, good.
So that's good, and we're excited. That's psyching us up. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we've always every time we've gone to Australia, we've always done great. But every promoter that's brought us there is always kind of like, yeah, I don't know, I don't
Mm.
know if it's gonna do good. But we always did great, And I don't. So I think the couple times that it's been brought up, it's like either us or whoever was being sought out after to getting us there it's like, yeah. And then we're like, okay, we're going to Europe. Okay, we're going here. We're going
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think this time around, it was like, let's make this happen.
Yep.
But then Perth is where Bon Scott's from, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. I think they've
Yeah.
got a statue in Perth of Bon Scott somewhere.
Oh, I gotta go there. That was one of my first concerts when I was like in 8th grade.
Oh,
I was
really?
supposed to go get my braces tightened,
Yeah.
and there's a train station like, I don't know, a half a mile up the street, and I knew in Oakland they were having a concert called Day on the Green,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it was Ted Nugent, Aerosmith, AC/DC. This is 1980,
Yep.
1979.
Yeah.
So I got right to the front, and Bon Scott came out, and I was just like, whoa. His presence was like, whoa. He just stood there like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was fucking awesome. They're one of my favorite bands.
Is that the same one Van Halen were at?
I think that was 78
Oh, was it?
they
Okay.
played.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that one by 1 year, but
Yeah.
I ended up seeing them that year in a different venue. But yeah, that was a great show. Mahogany Rush played that show. Journey, fuck, it was a really good show. I got my ass kicked when I got home though, and I hid my shirt, because I knew he would probably throw it away. So my dad was just like,
That's really cool.
yeah.
Can't wait to hear more stories about it.
Yeah. Right on, man. Well,
All right.
appreciate your time.
No, thank you. And we'll see you in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yep, for sure. All right. Thanks.
All right.
No worries. See you then.
Take care, man.
Bye. See ya.